Hello guys, Josh MC2000 here, and today we're going to be talking about Red Hood and the Outlaws issue 25. This is my second time recording this. The first time I did this, it went a little ranty, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a separate video kind of explaining why I feel that way. So anyway, issue 25. What did I feel about it? I was happy it left the story in a decent place. I just wasn't very happy with the way the two fights between Red Hood and Batman, it was incredibly one-sided, and whenever they've fought in the past, it's never been one-sided. It's always been they go blow for blow. One lands a punch, the other one lands a kick. One cuts the belt off, one gives another person a kick. One knees someone in the face, they're split up, and one rips the mask off. You know, it's always been very much they're even. They go blow for blow, they deal what they give out, and whenever they've fought, they've always come across as even. I've just had a problem how everything in his rebirth incarnation just has him reach for his guns first, and it's just ruins an aspect of the character, because it's like he used to be tactical, he used to think things through, he used to have everything planned out in depth, and it just bugs me. However, I like the fact that Arsenal's back in the story now. It looks like Arsenal's going to be helping him out, because Annual 2 that comes out in 3 weeks is literally one of his oldest friends, and the 29th it comes out in 3 weeks, so it comes out at the end of the month. But it's just, the fight was so one-sided towards Batman, it just bugs me, because it's like, Jason was never that easy that Batman could steamroller him. Jason hit as good as he got. And it just seems like that's been thrown out the window, and Jason's gone from being one of the most competent and skilled fighters in the Bat family to one of the worst, I'd say. I mean, he's gone from being able to stand toe-to-toe with the likes of Batman, Lady Shiva, to now literally not even being able to beat Batwoman. And it's like, why? Why have you done that? And it's the same with Deathstroke and Hush as well. They've gone from being really skilled fighters, incredible threats, to being just a joke. And I don't understand it. And I've got a video coming out in... I've got a video coming out which will kind of explain my thoughts. I'm going to work on that. I've also got another video not to do with comics that I'm working on that explain my thoughts on a game I've played. Yeah, do like a retrospective. But anyway, back to this. The story leaves it in a good place. Artemis and Bizarro are gone. Jason is really in the bad books with Bruce. Bruce, literally, if that fight had carried on, Bruce would have beat him to death. And Bruce was that furious. Like, he wasn't pulling his punches. Like, he literally shattered his helmet with one single kick. And it's just like, thing is, I have thought about it, and there's one thing that bugs me. There's a bit here with Mar Gunn, and there's kind of like this joke fictional comic that's meant to be in-universe. And instead of that, I'd rather they'd have took that out and actually given us a better fight with Jason and Batman. It's like, Jason just gets absolutely destroyed. He never lands a single hit or anything. And then you've got this shot here with Harper carrying his friend away, and Jason barely being able to move. It's, yeah. And also Batman with the expressive eyes. I'm not sure if I like that. That's kind of creepy. I'm not sure if I like that, but it's just I'm not happy with the way the fight went. Also, it's just like, Was that really necessary? I know people like the idea of those two as a pair, but I never saw it, and it's just like, seems kind of forced. It's not Tico level bad, but it's like, it's just, it seems kind of rushed, to be honest. It's like, well, it seems like there's several panels missing. Like, the fight between Jason and Batman, it seems like there's several panels missing. Because it's just like Jason getting a beat down without a single punch. Bearing in mind, Jason has actually beaten Batman in Shattered by Rage. My mistake. He actually beat Batman in a fight, so that is possible. That does happen. And also under the hood was Bruce technically beat Jason. I'd say it was all tied up until the point where Bruce set Jason's jacket on fire. It was all tied up until that point, but I think him losing all his gadgets kind of knocked his confidence, and Bruce started to get a bit of a psychological edge. And then Jason played his last card with that whole scene with the Joker, and it didn't have the effect Jason thought it would have, and what he should have done is he should have just shot Joker and been like, there, it's done. But he decided to turn the gun on Bruce, which was kind of a snap decision, and it was a poor one, because that's what Bruce wanted him to do. So yeah, it's, in the end, he lost because he cracked. It wasn't because Batman beat him down. Whereas in this, it leaves the story in an interesting place going forward, but I just feel it's a disservice to the character. Because now people that haven't read the original comics with him in Pre-52 and haven't seen the animated movie, they're going to read this and they're going to think Jason's just a pathetic joke. They're just going to think, oh, why do people say he can stand up to Batman if he pretty much gets like free shot by Batman? And the cover's really misleading because the cover shows it to be like an even fight. Like, it looks like they're going all out, they're hitting each other. It looks like the cover looks like it was from a different issue, because that looks like they're both hitting each other. And I think instead of the joke meta narrative with Margun, I'd rather they'd have took that out and focused a bit more on the fight with Jason and Margun. And also there's a bit in this that's really hypocritical, because it reveals that Batwoman had shot somebody in the same manner Jason did with Penguin. And Bruce is doing this to Jason when I don't think I'm not sure, I don't read Detective Comics, but I don't think he did that to Batwoman. And he would never have he wouldn't do something that severe to Batwoman. And it's just like, Jason has two really good points. He literally shatters his helmet like that, and he says, you're a character. I have never seen you hit Joker that hard, and you hate him. And Batman's just like, shut up, and dashes him across the face, and he's like, and like he just beats him down, and then Bizarro breaks it up. You get the scene with them trying to stop the bomb. That Bizarro, Artemis chucking him out of the plane, the building, and then you get the next fight with Batman. Throws a spin kick, and like he's literally dragging him away with blood. He's literally dragging him away up here with blood, a trail of blood from the floor. If that fight had carried on, Jason would be dead. There's nothing more you could say about it. It's just then you get a bit with Margun and Willis, which is hinting at a future story arc, but I'd rather they'd have cut that and just focused on the fight between, and have it end with Harper, like, I got you, buddy. It should have ended, I'll show you where it should have ended. It should have ended, it should have ended here. And these pages should have been taken, and they should have gone into the fight here. It should have gone into the fight, and it should have. The first bout should have been. They're going at it. They're at a standstill. Then Jason slips away. He goes and helps the Outlaws. Then he gets chucked out onto the building. Then he confronts Bruce, but he's tired, and you can see he's tired because he starts making mistakes. You could have a speech bubble by Batman. This isn't like Jason. Jason's normally way more focused. He's normally way more dangerous. I would have expected this fight to be a lot harder. And then he beats Jason down, and he's a bit like... And Jason's... You could have a thought bubble from Jason. Bruce has just made me look like a punk. What the hell's wrong with me? There could have been a time where There was a time where I could have steamrolled Bruce. What the hell's wrong with this? Well, I say steamrolled. That would be Jason being kind of arrogant, because he never has the capability to steamroll a Batman. He has the capability to beat Batman, but not steamroller. There's only really two people I can think of that can steamroll a Batman. Deathstroke and Lady Shiva, and they have both steamrolled Jason in the past as well. Even though in that Deathstroke issue, Red Hood kind of made Slade look like a joke at first. That was a mess. A fight between Slade and Jason would go way different, but whatever. I blame the person writing Deathstroke for that, because he did make Deathstroke look like a complete punk that run. And it was hard to take Slade seriously at all. And unfortunately, Jason's getting the same treatment. I'm starting... After him being beat by Batwoman, Batman... I'm starting to find it hard to take him seriously anymore. It's like... Under the Hood, Lost Days, I took him seriously because of some of the stuff he was capable of doing. I mean, he even hinted at the fact he wasn't afraid of Talia and Raish. He's like... He is talking to Talia, and she's basically saying, look, it's becoming a pattern with you. I send you to train with somebody, they wind up dead. Are you gonna try and kill me and Raz when this is over? And Jason's just like, I don't know, might do. And like, he just says it in such a nonchalant way. It's like, yeah, possibly. Takes a sip of his drink. He wasn't afraid of them. And he definitely wasn't afraid of Batman. And also, the insulting thing is, there's so many callbacks to their previous confrontations, and there's so many tactics Batman deploys that he's countered before. Like, he tangles his leg with a line. Jason has cut a line like that before in both the animated movie and the original Under the Hood comic. So it's not like, oh Josh, you only watch the animated movie, it's not what it's like in the comic. Yes, it is. It's actually probably one of the most faithful comic book adaptations, period. Minus a few scenes that Judd Winnick actually said were improvements. He said, if I could have gone back and done this in the book, I would have done. Because the problem with Under the Red Hood as a comic, I love it, but it has so much baggage from events at the time, whereas the movie's more streamlined. The movie's got the events and the Superboy Prime and all of the other heroes and crap like that cut out, so it's a much more streamlined, much more personal story. Whereas the comic had a lot of things crammed in, like there was a Green Arrow cameo, a Superman cameo. You had, instead of the Fearsome Hand of Four, just regular assassins, random assassins. You had a series of supervillains that Deathstroke was in charge of, and like Deathstroke didn't fight, obviously he just sent them. And then you have other stuff, and it's just like, because the comic book story arc took a lot longer, and it also, during the climax fight, Bloodhaven got bombed, and they saw that in the distance, and Jason passed a comment. Ironic how one son returns from the grave, another enters it. This night's becoming a better finale than I could have hoped for. And it's basically ties into one of the big pre-52 events. I don't remember which one it is. It's been a long time. And I wasn't really into comics that much then. Under the Hood is something I picked up later and read because it was the story that created my favourite character. And just to see them take a massive crap on his abilities, it's basically he's a gunslinger now. He used to be an assassin that could take on Batman. Now he's just a gunslinger. That's all he is. And originally he had the same training as Batman. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that's been retconned now. But it's. And that's why he used to be able to stand up to Batman, because he had the same sort of training Bruce had, but in how to kill. So, he was essentially Batman, but with the moral code taken out. So, he had the same sort of skill set, same talents, but he just chose to kill instead of Batman. And the big thing with these two is their fights are over the moral argument. It's not over personal issues. It's not like, oh, I trusted you. You betrayed my trust. The argument between these two has always been, I don't agree with you killing. Oh, really? You not killing, you make the situation worse. Because they just get out. Constant capture and release. Oh, really? Is that so? If you kill, you become no better than them. That's what it is with those two. It's the moral argument. They don't want to fight each other, but sometimes they end up at an impasse. Because Jason, this had such a really good setup, but it was just let down by the fact that Batman had a crap ton of plot armor. Because that's the problem with. It's why I can't like Batman, because he's a hypocritical jerk, and he's constantly, well, not even just a hypocritical prick. And most of the time, he's covered in plot armor. It's like, yeah, I find it really hard to believe that you can say Batman has no superpowers when he literally has the superpower of off-screen bullshit. That's Batman's superpower, off-screen bullshit. That's his power, and it's like, it's insulting because you used to have it where Jason was, in Transformers, you have Optimus and Megatron. They are the two nemesises. They are like Batman and Joker. Jason is more like the Nemesis Prime type character. He's the same as the hero, but he's slightly different. He's doesn't have the same morality. He is kind of a dark reflection, like looking into a mirror and seeing like an evil version of yourself. That's the kind of character Red Hood is to Batman. It's not a straight up villain, it's just a dark reflection. Because it's like, this is the way Bruce could have gone if he'd have decided to kill. And that's the scary thing with Red Hood. It's basically Batman, but with a moral restriction taken away. I mean, in this issue, he looked about ready to fight the police, and I personally have a problem with that, because I don't think he would. I think that would be the one line he wouldn't cross. It's like, look, I don't kill women or cops. Whenever I've written him in fan stuff, that's normally always been his rule. I don't kill kids, I don't kill cops. They're civilians, I leave them out. I won't kill women, but I'll kill someone like Ivy. Look, there's certain restrictions that stop him from just being as bad as people like Joker. But apparently not. He the cops are doing their job and he's doing his. He's perfectly happy to take out guns and shoot cops, which I think's a big problem. Because I think if he knows he's already going to be in deep shit with Bruce, I don't think he'd make it worse by being in deep shit with the GCPD. I think he'd at least try and keep a good relationship with one of the two. So if the one turns on him, he has the other to fall back on. Like, if, say for example, if he developed a really poor relationship with the GCPD, I'm sorry, my hair's all over the place at the moment. If he ended up with a really bad reputation with the GCPD, Jesus Christ, what's happened to my hair? I don't know. If he ended up with a really bad relationship with the GCPD, I think he would try and keep a, I think he'd try and keep a decent relationship with Batman, because it's like, Batman can then be like, look, I trust him, can you please try and do the same? Like, and if he kept a good relationship with the PD would be like, look Batman, he's useful to us, okay? You might not agree with him, but we find having him around useful. Like, don't you two please stop fighting, we need both of you. Like, so I always think he'd kind of do that, so it'd be a bit like, if one has an issue with him, he can use the other one to kind of cover his ass, because it's a bit like, Batman will be like, look Jim, I trust him, you and your officers need to try and do the same. Or it would be, Jim, look Batman, our officers need him, you know, they can't deal with everything by themselves and you can't be everywhere at once. You know, so it's one of them things, but it's a take on the character. We'll see where it goes. The story's left in an interesting place for Annual 2 in 3 weeks' time. So, in 3 weeks' time, I'll be back, and we'll be talking about Annual 2. Red Hood and Arsenal will be teaming up again, which is kind of cool. I hope they bring the other two members of the I hope they bring the other two Outlaws characters into it. I hope they bring Star and Ravager back, because I think those two, I think definitely Ravager would have something to say about what Batman's done, especially if she saw the state of him. Like, if she saw the state Jason was in at the end of this, she'd pretty much be gunning for Batman. Because I'm pretty sure it'd be like, you treat your son like that, that's it, I'm gonna kill you. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what her mindset would be. Or that, or she'd be like, look, Deathstroke, here's this contract, go kick Bruce's shit. You know, because I don't think she'd be happy with just standing there and letting Batman do that. And I also think that's why Roy's intervened at the end. He's got Jason out of there because he doesn't agree with the way Bruce is treating him. It's like, Bruce, you've gone way too far, man. You need to stop. Because, to be honest, in this story, Bruce is the one who is at fault. I'm going to be honest. Because the Penguin is a slimy piece of scum. And also, those of you that were concerned about Penguin not dying at the end because they said he was in a critical condition, do not worry, the police threatened to arrest him for murder. Penguin is dead. He's not, unless it is set before this point, he is not coming back. He is dead. Well, as far as I know, for the Rebirth run, they might pull some bullshit and bring him back, but from what the police said, Penguin is dead. He's made a mark, and it's made a ripple effect. I've also got a video should come up before this, which is about the new design. I'm not a massive fan of it, but I'll have to wait and see if it's in the comics first. You've probably already seen that video. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. The next video I do will either be the Black Label wishlist, which, yes, I know, I keep promising I'm going to make it. I'll get around to it eventually. Also, I need to sit down and give it a bit of a thought. And the other option is that it could be, the other option is it could be like this video I've got that's talking about why I feel there's a problem with the way certain characters are being written at the moment. I can think of a few that I take issue with because of the changes they've made. because it takes away key parts of the character. But anyway, that's something I will do eventually regardless, but I just need to find the right way to word it. Anyway guys, I'll see you in the next one. I hope you all enjoyed. Goodbye.